On this episode of Game Shack, it's the 4th National Owner Day from AtGames, and I'm going to break down all of the deals that are coming out on this National Owners Day. Some breaking news in terms of hardware from that company, breaking news in terms of will game packs be coming down the line, some other hot rumors, all that and more coming up next. Hey everybody, it's JDV here for EvilGeniusEntertainment.com. Thank you for stopping by the Game Shack, the world's coldest arcade. Okay, so as promised, the 4th National Owners Day, this Valentine's Day in about 2 weeks, is coming out. And AtGames embargo should be lifted right now. So you should be able to go over to atgames.us to get all of their information. The very latest should be at their website. I'm going to try to encapsulate it all for you here right now. But if you have questions, if I've missed something, if I got something wrong, please depend on their website to get the very latest about everything. Anyway, this is the 4th year that they're doing this. And as anybody knows who watches my channel, I'm a big fan of AtGames. I think that they've done a lot for the community. And I do think that the ALU remains the best multi-cade option on the market, just as their virtual pinball game, the ALP, is the best virtual pinball game on the market for under $1,000. Part of why I love AtGames so much is the support they do give out to the fans, the fact that they listen to fans, and the fact that they do things like this National Owners Day where you can get anywhere from 25 to 40% off of their games, their hardware, and other things like that. So let's kind of jump into that right now. The theme of this year's NOD is kind of supporting the long-term fans, people who've been a part of AtGames since the very beginning. And how they're doing that is something they're calling their Platinum program, which is if you have been subscribed to their online gaming or BYOG games for a year or more, if you've spent $2,000 or more on gear from them, or if you own the 1.0 version of the ALU the way that I do, you should qualify for this Platinum Program Rewards Club, and they should be sending out everybody who does qualify for this. I believe it is February 10th. You should be receiving an email. If you haven't gotten an email by the 11th or 12th and you think that you do qualify for this program and you are interested, go on over to the support line over at atgames.us and drop them a line. But anyway, so what is this Platinum program? Well, essentially, it's a couple of things. They are offering people who own the 1.0 a chance to buy the 1.1 machine for, I believe it's $530, something like that, plus shipping. So that's about a 35% discount off of the normal rate. You get the pinball buttons, you get, basically whatever the state of the art is for the ALU, that's the machine you'll get. And what that will let you do is down the line, you'll be able to add that 4-player deck, possibly steering wheel deck, and other peripherals that probably won't work on the 1.0 machine. And so they're also going to give you a year's warranty on anything that you buy during this NOD program. So basically, they're going to give you a year warranty on that 1.1 machine if you buy it over the National Owners Day weekend. They're also going to give you a $100 coupon for virtual pinball games. You have to buy those at full price, so if it's on discount, you won't be able to apply the $100 to that. But for $100, you should be able to get quite a few of those pinball games onto your new ALU, presuming that you buy one. And that's a pretty good deal too. So again, if you're someone who has owned the 1.0 machine, you've spent $2,000 on AtGames gear over the last course of time, or you're a member of their online gaming or BYOG gaming service for a year or more, you should qualify for this. Again, if you haven't received an email and you think you should have, go to their support at atgames.us. Okay, so what about people who don't qualify for this new LPO type program? What kind of goodies do they have? Well, there's a bunch of news on that front. First of all, they apparently have gotten some European distributors for their virtual pinball games. So if you live in the UK or other European countries, you ought to be able to now get their ALP, which is good news if you've been someone who lives in the UK and wants to have that. More importantly, they're giving away $40,000 worth of prizes. And how you join those contests is in a myriad of ways, but kind of the ways that long-term AtGames owners have come to expect. You either play the games, you host a tournament, you show off your ALU on Facebook or other social media posts, and all of those things qualify you for those contests. And so again, that's a pretty cool thing that they help get, I think, pretty good fan interest in by having those contests. Again, for details, go to their website, atgames.us. Another kind of big news is that they are now tripling the length of their normal warranty from 30 days to a more standard 90 days. Now, I've never had a problem with any sort of reliability from AtGames, and now essentially anything that you buy starting National Owners Day, I think does have that 90-day warranty. But of course, most of us are interested in what kind of special deals do they have on their games and hardware. And so basically speaking, everything is 22% to 40% off depending on what you get. So they have sales on just about everything that they have. So let me break down a few of the things that most interest me and probably interest you. If you want a loaded ALP, you know, their virtual pinball game plus the controller deck already with it, that's $850 or $849.99. That's a 23% discount, so that's a pretty nice thing if you want the ALP plus the control panel and you want to get a deal on both of those, that would be $850. Now, if you already own the ALP but you're interested in getting that trackball joystick combo control deck, you can pick it up for $120 on NOD, and that's a 40% saving, and that is a heck of a deal. I think I spent $150 on mine, and it's worth every penny of it. Not only can you play games like Galaxy and Galaga and stuff like that on there, it helps you navigate the menu so much more easier using that joystick. The trackball is excellent on there. I mean, it's a pretty dang good deal for $120. So if you were interested in that control deck, this is definitely time to get it. If you're somebody who was interested in the ALU Mini, this is probably the time to get it. You can pick one up for $449.99. That's a 25% discount. That comes with the 150 built-in games, plus 105 virtual pinball tables, and of course the pinball buttons on the side at the Mini. So again, if you are somebody who is limited in space or wants to give this as a gift but doesn't want to quite spend so much money, this is an excellent way to do it. I'm personally kind of interested in picking this up myself, but then again, I know I'm going to play my full-size ALU, so who am I fooling? One of the cool things that AtGames does is allow users to upgrade their marquees there's I think 3 different versions of the marquee that you can get. All of them are 40% off. I think I'm going to be getting the BitPixel one, the most basic version, for $120. I just think that looks cool, cooler even than the LCD version. But if you do want to get the LCD version, I think that is going for $210, which again is 40% off. So if you were interested in upgrading your marquee for the ALU or ALP, this is probably the time to do it. And of course, AtGames doesn't just sell pinball and large arcade machines. They also sell smaller versions like the Core Max that you can hook up to their TV. That is 40% off. The wireless controller that you can use for that is 40% off. I think that's down, yeah, that's down to $21. So that is a heck of a deal. That is something where at $50 it was probably overpriced, but at $21 that becomes a near steal. And you should be able to use that in the pinball games for the ALP or the ALU, and you should be able to use the nudge buttons now. The side bumpers on that controller will now be able to nudge via a firmware upgrade, so that is a cool thing. And lastly, at least in terms of things that I'm interested in, you can get a year's worth of ArcadeNet, a year warranty, and $100 worth of virtual pinball games, all for $100, which I think is a 60% discount, 58% discount. Anyway, if you're wanting to get ArcadeNet, wanting that extra long warranty, and wanting some extra pinball games, now is the time to do it. So if you are interested in any of those deals, and there's deals that I didn't mention, head on over to atgames.us. It should be up there right now in terms of the deals that will be offered. All of these things, I believe, go on sale February 11th. So if you are interested in any of that stuff, head on over there now and go ahead and scope it out and be ready to spend some loot on February 11th. So it's not just NOD news that we heard from AtGames. Some of the other things involve their hardware, particularly their light gun BitPixel blaster, and that thing has been dropped from the scheduled rotation. Right now that is not being scheduled to be made, and that's a bitter disappointment because I was really looking forward to using a light gun on the ALU. There is a third-party light gun that apparently does work, although I don't know the name of it. If you do, please let us know down below and I'll try to pick it up and review down the line. But seeing as 2022 is potentially shaping up as the year of the shooting game, we already have T2, and I think we're going to hear about House of the Dead and Area 51 and some of those other shooting games from Arcade 1-Up. It is a kind of a disappointment that AtGames kind of dropped the ball on what I think could have been a very big product for them. So time will tell. On a positive note, their 4-player controller deck is still planned for 2022, although they are not selling it at NOD. That is, again, a little bit of a disappointment. I was hoping that they would at least have a release date for us on National Owners Day for the 4-player controller deck, but that isn't happening. Same thing with their rumored racing cab. There was no real news on that. The only real news on either one of those products is the fact that they are still aiming for 2022 releases on both of them. If I was a betting man, I'd guess that the 4-player controller deck would be released in early fall and that announcements will be made about the driving cab, but time will tell. In terms of other hardware release dates, the BitPixel LCD should be released in July if you've already pre-ordered it. The BitPixel HV should be out in April, and the Legends Core Max should be available in June again if you've pre-ordered it. I don't know what the terms of distribution will be if you order those products on NOD. Hopefully they'll have some information about that on their webpage. In terms of new game packs, I asked them very directly if there were any new game packs coming out in 2022, and they said maybe. They are still trying to chase down licensing for something like that. I pointed out to them that it had been a long time since they had come out with a new game pack. They did reference the fact that they do add games to their ArcadeNet service, but for someone like me who has very bad internet, A, and B, always wants to have the machine have the games on there, period, because the internet can go down. That is much more of an interest to me, so they have not given up on the idea of getting licensing for new game packs. Also asked them directly, were they thinking about trying to do a la carte gaming the way that iArcade does? And again, they said that is something that they are considering. Again, if I were a betting man, I would think that we're going to see a game pack before we see a la carte gaming. If that does come to AtGames, it probably won't be for a couple of years. That's just pure guesswork on my part, nothing that they said. But I did not get the impression that they were very enthusiastic about that. Probably a little bit more about game packs. So hopefully we will hear something in the fall about a game pack being available. Okay, so that's a lot to unpack. Hopefully I got everything right. If I did make a mistake, please let me know down below and I'll try to correct it. Go to atgames.us for all the information on these sales, which do begin, I think, on the 11th, but all of the pricing should be up there now as this video hits. I think it is interesting and kind of sad that the light gun has been discontinued, but I do think it's cool that they are moving forward with the 4-player controller deck and their racing cab, and I really do hope that they add some game packs to the ALU. They need something to keep fans, pre-existing fans, in the game, so to speak, especially if you're someone like me that has no real interest in ArcadeNet. If you like this kind of content, please give me a thumbs up on the way out the door. It really does help. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so. Hit the notification bell so you know when videos like this come out. Love each other. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the Game Shack. Mwah! Be sure to visit EvilGeniusEntertainment.com for exclusive content, swag, casting call news, and much, much more.